With The Boys Season 5 Episode 4 done, a lot of theories have come up and I want to talk about them today. Theories like Bombsight and the V1 serum, Stormfront possibly being alive, Homelander's complete mental collapse. Now the first thing I want to talk about is why Bombsight took the V1 and why it had to be him who had taken the V1. Now we know that the place is overrun with rage spores. Anyone who goes in there gets infected. Butcher, Huey, Kimiko, all affected. But one person who walked through these spores like nothing was Frenchie. Now the episode does tell us that Frenchie is immune to the rage spores because he's used so many drugs over the years that it has permanently altered his brain chemistry. Now if we look at what happened, they find a stash of heroin right next to the punched open safe. They identify the culprit as Bombsight, a soup from Soldier Boy's days, a pilot, and as Frenchie calls him, a junkie. Now we know if Frenchie's heavy drug use grants him immunity, then Bombsight, also as a long-term heavy drug user, would logically also be immune. Now if Bombsight had taken the V1, what is the reason? One theory is that Bombsight isn't actually taking it for himself, but he is working for Stan Edgar. We know that Stan Edgar literally knows everything. He was Vought's CEO for decades. He gave up the information to Homelander so easily during their talk. This means that during the time period before, he could have sent out another soup to go and collect it. Now, something that supports this is that Stan Edgar has a history of using soups as his assets. He sold out Soldier Boy to the Russians, so we know he's not above manipulation. This doesn't answer why Stan Edgar specifically would want the V1. Now, two of the reasons I think, and number one being, he first might actually give it to Zoe. We know that Zoe is probably one of the only people he cares about in the entire show. Now the second reason would be that he wants to prevent Homelander from getting it. If Homelander injects himself with a V1, he practically becomes invincible. Now this is one of the possible reasons that Edgar might have taken it. Now we know according to A-Train that abusing Compound V could actually make you an addict. And we know that since Bombsight is a drug addict, it could be possible that he himself may have gotten V1 from somewhere else and started abusing it. And since he knows that the experiments took place in Fort Harmony, he may have gone there to go and search for it. But something else I wanted to talk about is actually Stormfront. Now, Stormfront might still be alive. Both Homelander and Soldier Boy mentioned her multiple times in episode 5. Homelander brings her up, Soldier Boy asks about her. The writers didn't have to include those lines, but they did. So we know this isn't just random. Firstly, we know that Stormfront has V1 in her system. V1 grants her near immortality. So how would biting off her own tongue kill her? Second, her death was completely off-screened. We see a body on a stretcher and that's it. We never actually got a confirmation or even a scene to show us that was actually her in the body bag. Now the third most important part is that Soldier Boy outright says that, quote unquote, she'd never off herself. Now of course Soldier Boy doesn't know that Homelander denied her the generation full of strong soups because he wanted to be the only strong soup. But it goes to show that the theory that Stormfront might actually be alive isn't so far as to say it's a stretch. Another reason is that Vought announced her death immediately, with no spin, and that's not how Vought operates. I mean, faking deaths is their specialty. And you have to remember, at this time, Stan Edgar still was in control of Vought. The last reason is that we've literally never seen someone dying off screen, especially a V1 soup. Every major death in The Boys is brutal and on screen, but for Stormfront, a news report and a covered body. The last thing I want to talk about is actually Homelander's breakdown. Now throughout the seasons we've seen his mental health slowly deteriorate, but in this season it's literally just down in the dumps. I don't even know what to say. Episode 4 gave us one of the most disturbing looks inside of his head. At the last scene of the episode, we see a moment where Homelander is actually about to speak. The camera then switches to his point of view and what do we hear? Literally nothing. This shows how disconnected he is and he can't even hear the world around him properly. The episode cuts before we can actually hear what he says. But what if the episode pointed to what he's actually about to say? Now I think he's about to declare himself as God. Not a prophet, like Firecracker calls him, but actually God. Throughout the episode, we're repeatedly told that only 22% of people would actually accept him as their one true God. Now we know earlier in the previous seasons, Sister Sage tells Homelander that he still won't be happy even if he ran the world. We know that Butcher tells him the exact same thing. Even if you get the V1, even if you become immortal, you still won't be happy. Homelander has already gotten almost everything he wanted. But we also know, according to Homelander's character, that he doesn't care whether it'll make him happy or not. He's just gonna do what he wants at the end of the day. He said in previous episodes that he hates how people cheer for him no matter what. That he wants something real, but he doesn't know what that is anymore. And again, we've also directly seen him say that even though he's gotten everything he wants, he's still not happy during his conversation with Sage during the first time they actually met. So some people speculate that him staring blankly at the end of the episode is him coming face to face with his own mortality. But what I think is that no matter what he gets, he truly will never be happy. What do you think? What is the reason Bombsight took the V1? Is Stormfront coming back? And what did Homelander actually say before the episode cut off? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like and subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, they will. When you lead an army of Aryan Ubermensch.